Disclaimer. This video is intended for entertainment purposes only. It is not meant to be taken seriously or as a reflection of reality. Please view this video with discretion. The Ghost of the Clown. The old circus building loomed over the town like a decrepit giant. It had been abandoned for years, but rumors persisted that it was haunted by the ghost of a clown. One day, a group of teenagers decided to explore the abandoned circus. They had heard the stories, but they didn't believe them. They thought it would be fun to spend a night in the creepy old building. The teenagers arrived at the circus late at night. They pried open a back door and slipped inside. The building was dark and dusty. The air was thick with the smell of mildew. The teenagers wandered through the circus, exploring the empty rooms. They found the old performance ring, the dressing rooms, and the animal cages. Everything was covered in a thick layer of dust. The teenagers came to a large room at the back of the circus. This was where the clowns had used to get ready for their performances. There were mirrors all over the room, and there was a long table covered in makeup and costumes. The teenagers were laughing and talking as they explored the room. But then, one of the girls stopped and gasped. She was staring at one of the mirrors. "Look," she said. "There's someone in there." The other teenagers gathered around the mirror. They saw a figure standing in the reflection. It was a clown. The clown was tall and thin, with white skin and red hair. He was wearing a baggy clown suit and a sad smile was painted on his face. The teenagers stared at the clown in disbelief. They couldn't believe their eyes. "It's the ghost," one of the boys whispered. The clown slowly raised his hand and waved at the teenagers. The teenagers were frozen with fear. Suddenly, the clown moved. He stepped out of the mirror and into the room. The teenagers screamed and ran. They tried to escape, but the doors were locked. The clown chased the teenagers through the circus. He was laughing maniacally. The teenagers trapped themselves in a small dressing room. They huddled together in fear, listening to the clown's laughter outside. The clown tried to open the door, but it was locked. He pounded on the door and screamed at the teenagers. The teenagers were terrified. They didn't know what to do. Suddenly, there was a loud crash. The clown had broken through the door. The teenagers screamed and ran. The clown chased them through the circus. The teenagers ran into the performance ring. They had nowhere else to go. The clown cornered the teenagers in the center of the ring. He laughed and clapped his hands. "It's time to play," he said. The teenagers were terrified. They knew that they were in danger. The clown reached into his pocket and pulled out a knife. He smiled cruelly. "Let's see how you like this trick," he said. The clown raised the knife and lunged at the teenagers. The teenagers screamed and scattered. The clown chased them around the performance ring, swinging the knife wildly. One of the teenagers, a boy named Michael, tripped and fell. The clown was right behind him. Michael closed his eyes and waited for the end. But the end never came. Michael opened his eyes and saw that the clown was gone. He looked around and saw that the other teenagers were safe as well. The teenagers were confused and scared. They didn't know what had just happened. Suddenly, they heard a voice. "Thank you," the voice said. The teenagers looked around, but they couldn't see anyone. "Who said that?" one of the girls asked. "It was me," the voice said. "The ghost of the clown." The teenagers were stunned. "But why did you save us?" Michael asked. "Because I don't want anyone else to get hurt," the clown said. "I'm not an evil ghost. I'm just a lost soul." The teenagers didn't know what to say. They were still scared, but they were also grateful for the clown's help. "How can we help you?" one of the boys asked. "You can help me find peace," the clown said. "You can help me move on to the afterlife." The teenagers didn't know how to help the clown, but they agreed to try. The teenagers spent the night with the clown. They listened to his story and learned about his life. The clown's name was Pogo. He had been a circus clown for many years. He had loved his job and he had brought joy to many people. But then, one day, Pogo had a tragic accident. He fell from the high wire and died. Pogo's spirit had been trapped in the circus ever since. He was unable to move on to the afterlife because he was unfinished business. The teenagers wanted to help Pogo move on. They asked him what he needed to do in order to find peace. Pogo said that he needed to perform one last show. He needed to make one last audience laugh. The teenagers agreed to help Pogo put on a show. They gathered up some old costumes and props from the circus. They even found a working calliope. The teenagers set up the stage in the performance ring. Pogo was nervous, but he was also excited. He was finally going to be able to perform again. The teenagers invited their friends and family to the show. They also told the people in town about the show. On the night of the show, the circus was packed. Everyone was eager to see the return of the ghost clown. Pogo took the stage and the crowd cheered. He put on a hilarious show. He told jokes, he juggled, and he even rode a unicycle. The audience laughed and cheered for Pogo. He was a hit. After the show, Pogo thanked the teenagers for their help. He told them that he was finally ready to move on to the afterlife. Pogo said goodbye to the teenagers and he disappeared into thin air. The teenagers knew that Pogo was finally at peace. They were glad that they had been able to help him. The old circus building was torn down a few years after the ghost clown's last show. But the story of Pogo, the ghost clown, is still told to this day. Some people say that if you go to the old circus grounds at night, you can still see Pogo's ghost performing the show. And if you're lucky, he might even tell you a joke. Hello YouTube channel World's Nature viewers. Thank you all for watching this story. If you liked this story, please like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. We will be back soon with a new story. Till then, take care and goodbye.